Hi there folks, and welcome back to Getting Started with Laravel 4. In the previous video we had a look at Laravel's query builder. Now in this lesson we'll take a look at Eloquent. But before we do, let's bring in an external source into our project. Just go over to packages.org and search for generators. Here at the top you'll find an excellent generators package, especially for Laravel. Now as you can see, this package lives on GitHub, so let's just click this link and then scroll down to see how we need to install it. Well, that's easy enough. All we need to do is copy this require statement and go back to our project. Now open up composer.json and let's just for now add that to our require array. Then I'll just open up the terminal, and then to actually download the package that we just required in composer.json, I need to do composer update. Now this will update any packages that we may have and also bring in new packages. And also it will rebuild the composer autoloader so that we can actually use those packages inside of our project. Okay, and we're going to give that a moment to execute. Okay, so by the looks of it, there was no need to update any existing packages, but Composer has brought in our way generators package. So let's go back to GitHub, and here it says that after installation you need to add a service provider to the Laravel service provider array, which is located in app-config app.php. Let's open that up now. Inside of PHP Storm I can open up a file from just about anywhere. Okay, so here it is, our app.php file. Let's open it up and scroll down, and here you'll see a list of service providers. Now all these service providers listed here are automatically loaded, and we'll need to add the generator service providers to that list. So once we've done this, we have access to some extra artisan sweetness. If in my terminal I just type php artisan, that lists all of the artisan commands. Here you see that we now have some generate commands, and these can generate quite intricate code files. Controllers, migrations, models, views, you name it. Well, I would like to create a model for posts. Let's do that right now. PHP artisan generate model, and then we need to pass in the name for our model, which is post. And let's run that. And here you see our post model has been created. I'll just open it up now, and there you go. Now you can see this is just a regular class called post, but it extends Eloquent, and that's where the magic lies. Eloquent is an active record implementation, so as soon as you extend Eloquent, you get access to all the active record goodness. And that contains all kinds of CRUD functionalities. So how do we use this post model? Well, let's find out. Open up controllers, post controller, and let's handle the R of CRUD first, so that's read. Okay, we'll fetch posts from the database, so I'll just create a variable called posts, and then I'll make that equal to the post model. From the post model I'll call the all method, which will give us all posts that are available. Of course, like we saw before, we need to pass posts to the view file as well, and we'll do that by providing a second parameter to the view make method, where we'll compact the variable called posts. So now that we've fetched all our posts and we've passed the posts to the view, let's just make sure that our post listing view can actually display this post. So we'll go into views, posts, listing. Okay, so first I'll just strip everything out of listing.blade.php and replace it with a little view snippet that I created just before. And by now you should know what this code means. So now we'll just do a for each statement where we loop through all the posts as post, and then we'll end the for each. So and then let's just create an h1 tag, and inside of that we'll show the post title like so. And if I remember correctly, that route is available on post listing, so let's just check that. And sure enough, here's a listing of all of our posts. Okay, so now we've created a view file to show all posts, but more importantly, we've used Eloquent to actually fetch all those posts. And did you see how easy that was? We created a model called posts, it extends Eloquent, and then all we need to do is call post all. No auto-loading, no setting up, no query building, it just works. So can we do where statements like in the query builder? Well, let's have a look. How about we only display the posts with the word post inside of the title? Easy enough, we'll just call a where statement, and then we'll search for title is like post, and then we need to add the word post inside of percentage characters. And of course we mustn't forget to actually run that query. So you see, this is very much like the query builder, only we're using it on a post model. Let's see if it works. refresh the page, and sure enough, here's our 3 posts filtered down. So how about taking just the second one? Okay, take 1, skip 1. So we'll take only 1 record, but we'll skip the first one. And that should give us our second post. And there it is. So how about we do a similar thing to our single view? Okay, let's set a post variable and fill it with the post model, and then just use the find method. Here we'll need to pass in the ID, and this will find the post with an ID of ID. And then of course we want to send the post variable to the view, not the ID. And now let's open up single.plate.php, add in our Laravel view, and here let's set an h1 tag, and then maybe add the post title, like so. And while we're at it, let's also display a paragraph tag, and then maybe the post body. Right, so inside of our post controller, we're using that post model again, only this time to find a single record. Let's see if we can display that. We'll go to post/1, and there is our first post. And of course, there's also a post with an ID of 3. Okay, so fetching posts from the database is easy enough, but what about inserting new posts? Well, that's easy enough too. Right underneath the single method, let's just create a public function called insert. Okay, now we'll create a post variable to actually hold our new post. And then we'll just create a new post. And this, of course, is an instance of our post model. Now that we have a post, we can actually set properties for that post, such as a title, which we'll set to a post from the insert method. And of course, we need a post body as well. And let's set that to some random gibberish. So now that we have our new post, how do we save it? Well, let's just try post save, shall we? And then just to give us a little bit of feedback, I'll just die and dump post inserted. And now all we need to do is create another route for this insert method here. So let's open up our routes file. And right here, we'll just create another route that listens to a GET request for post insert. And then again, let's pass that array as the second parameter. Specify the controller that we're actually using. And then while we're at it, let's just name this route as well. Okay, let's copy this and hit that route. Paste it in here and see if we can actually insert a post this way. And here you see that it actually worked. We have our title, body, created at, updated at. The only thing we forgot to set is the user ID column. So let's do that now. And you know what, let's just comment this out and use another way to create a new post, because I think we could do it more quickly. Here we're setting every property by hand, but wouldn't it be much better if we had an array and we could use that to create a new user? The array could maybe represent the post array, because think about it, in real life you would probably use a form to create a new post, and that would give you a post array. So wouldn't it be great if we could just take that array and somehow feed it to the post model to create a new post? Well, actually, we can. Let's create the array first. We'll just call that data, and that will equal a new array. And now we need an item to hold the title, so that will be an item with the key of title. And let's just take this title and paste that in here. And maybe add something like using the data array, or maybe even the post array. Okay, so now we would like to have a body as well. And that could be exactly the same as this. And now remember that we do want to specify a user ID this time, so we'll just set that to 1, shall we? Okay, now that we have this data array, let's just feed it to the post model. So here we'll do post, create, and then paste in the data array, like so. Now the way we are creating a new post is called mass assignment. You just take a giant array of data and you just feed that to a model, and it's mass assigned all at once. Now this of course is a vulnerability, because what if some malicious user were to alter the ID here, or maybe some other fields that you didn't want to be altered? Well, this is why we have a fillable array. If you go back to the post model, you see the fillable array right here. Now this holds all the fields that you can actually set through mass assignment. So let's just set our fields here: title, body, user ID. And now we're ready to hit that route. Let's see what it does. So we get our post inserted, so we don't have any errors. And then if we open up SQL Pro and refresh, here's our 10th post. And it does have a user ID. Now what if we were to remove this user ID from the fillable array? Well, let's try and find out. Here, I'll remove it. So now we can only set title and body through mass assignment. Time to hit the insert route again and check in SQL Pro. Let's reload. And there you have it. Title and body are set, but user ID is not. Now there may be times when you don't want to specify each and every field that can be set through mass assignment, but you only want to specify which fields cannot be set through mass assignment. Well, to see how that works, let's just go back to the post model, comment out this line, and then we'll set a protected guarded array. Let's just add a field to this that we don't want to be set through mass assignment. Alright, so now when we call our insert method again, we will set a user ID in the data array, only because it's guarded it will not be set in our new post. You see? Just like that. Now we have all these posts without user IDs. Now wouldn't it be great if we could update, for instance, post number 9 to actually have a user ID? Well, of course we can. For this, we'll just use the update method that's already in our post controller. Now the first thing we need to do is call the post model and find that record that we are actually looking for to update. And let's for now just store that inside of a post variable. Now let's set the ID property for that post to 1. And then just like we did before, we'll take that post and we'll save it. And just to have something nice to look at in the browser, we'll die and dump post updated. Okay, and then I'll quickly correct this because I want the user ID to be altered, not the ID itself. So let's see if we need to update that route. Well, at the moment it only listens to a post request. Well, that's a bit too much for me. Let's just alter that to a get request and then maybe post update like so. Okay, save that out, go to the browser and then do post update post number 9. Well, we're not getting any errors at the moment. Let's just check SQL Pro, reload this, and here it is. Post number 9 now has a user ID of 1. Let's see if we can do the same for post number 11, update 11, and reload. There you go. Actually, these last 4 posts are redundant, so let's just delete those. We'll just create a new public function called destroy, and that will take an ID. Now let's see if you can figure this out for yourself. How would you try and delete this? Well, probably the first thing you thought of was find the actual posts, and then take that post variable and call its delete method. Right. And let's send something to the browser again. Post deleted. And of course we need to add the destroy method to our routes. So here we'll just copy this and change this to destroy. And of course we need to use the destroy method instead of update. And the name for this route will be post destroy. Okay, so it's back to the browser. Let's see if we can destroy post number 11. So open up SQL Pro and check. And there you have it. Post number 11 is gone. Let's do 10, 12, 14 as well. Reload, and they're gone as well. Well, and that's all for Eloquent CRUD. In the next video, we'll have a look at Eloquent Relations. You'll find that very powerful indeed. I'll see you there.